Welcome in.
Come here often.
How you doing?
It's Monday.
It's Monday. Monday gonna Monday.
Monday's gonna Monday. But we've got, this is Guns and Gear Live. You guys aren't getting any notifications that say Gun Talk Live. This is specifically designed for gear.
Yes, for the new stuff. So that's what Guns and Gear Live is all about. We usually do these SHOT Show lives, but we're not there this year.
We're not there this year, but that doesn't mean new gear's not headed out the doors. And we've got a couple. And the title of the video is a little bit clickbaity. By design, one, to get you in the door. But two, I think we've got a couple really good options here for best EDC holster. So
if you carry, there's kind of the ongoing search for the perfect holster, and for most of us, it's not like one answer, right? You have to be able to carry lots of different ways, depending on what you're wearing. So we wanted to talk to DeSantis, one of the kind of, I don't know, I guess you'd call them legacy holster makers. They've been doing it for a long time, about a couple of their new offerings. So you guys comment. We'll be answering your questions and trying to fill in any information that is not covered here. But clickbait, I feel so used. It's okay. You clicked on it. It's clickbait. It isn't clickbait, because clickbait would be you click on it and then it's a story about
something totally different.
Hillary Clinton or something like that. Well, I promise won't be the case here. All right, so we talked to DeSantis. Let's take a look. I feel like shooters and gun owners are always searching for the perfect way to carry. And that means holsters and belts and all these different options, because ultimately, look, we're all shaped different. There's a lot of different options out there. One of the companies that makes a ton of different options for you is DeSantis Holsters. So today we've got Chad DeSantis with us. Welcome in, Chad.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good, man. Thanks for being with us. So I know we wanted to talk about a few new things, but also there are so many people getting into concealed carry still that I thought we could have a little holster talk as well. Why don't you kick us off? I've got a couple different options on some carry holsters that are pretty cool here. Tell me about what we got.
All right, so first up is the Veil Partner, which is the leather holster you have. So this is one of our newest products. It's flat molded. It's ambidextrous, so it can fit everybody. I know the stores will like that because it's one SKU for each gun. It comes in black and tan. And the really great thing that I personally love about this holster is on the inside, which you can't really unfortunately see on video, but on the inside there's two clips on the inside of the holster that gives you the positive retention of like say a Kydex holster, and that's why it's actually called our Gunhide retention device. But if I can just show you, so this is a Springfield Hellcat. It is empty. So when you go to put the holster in, you get that nice audible click, and it's in.
I've got the same gun here, Chad. I was just kind of playing with this, and you're right. You go, yep, it clicks in, and we'll try to get a close-up of that. And you're talking about retention. That's retention, and I mean, that's kind of unusual. I mean, this is, like you said, this is a Gunhide holster. That's kind of different.
Yeah, so that's basically what we wanted. My dad, came up with the idea that he wanted a leather holster. Me and my dad we still wear leather. My brother is more Kydex, but my dad wanted to make something that's sort of like best of both worlds. So he came up with something that really truly holds it in, and and not only that, like when you're gonna be taken out, because you get that nice audible click when you come out as well.
Yep. So that's the GRD. And okay, so leather, what are the options on colors?
So it comes in black or tan, and then like I said, it's ambidextrous, and then we're gonna have it for the most popular firearms, so full-size Glock, the Hellcat, SIG, 365, the P320, Glock 43, 1911, pretty much the top of the popularity list.
Yeah, cover most of the guns people are carrying. Now, I noticed you have a couple holes here, so there's some adjustability.
Yes. So like I said, the clips are, it is fully ambidextrous. So clips can be flipped over to the other side to be a left-handed holster. But the clips can be adjusted for both height and cant. So you have, it comes standard with 1.5" clips, but we have 1.75" clips available. And then you can also move the clips down to this next set of holes, and then either have the forward cant or have straight up and down.
Very cool. Okay. Now, what is this one? Has a little bit different design, and it's Kydex, but the way you guys have the loop attachments, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, so that is our Veil partner, which is our newest Kydex holster. So the main thing was when we came out with this, we wanted something that would be as deep as concealment as possible, and rides up as high and tight to the body as possible. And if you see it, there's actually sort of like an S curve in that holster. Mm-hmm. And so when you go actually to put it on, that S curve sort of acts like that claw attachment that you see on a lot of IWB holsters that pull your belt out, but at the same time pushing the grip of the gun in.
Gotcha.
So that's exactly what this does. This pushes the grip of the gun tight to your body, but also pulls your belt out, so you can get a nice grip. You get a nice good grip every single time you go to draw.
Okay, so it kind of solves two issues there. I mean, what you're talking about is the grip. As far as concealability, we're always concerned about this grip part sticking out. That's why we get concerned about how long it is and all that's the part that will print the most for most carriers. And so this is going to pull it in closer to the body. But the other part is, okay, it's like you can kind of create a problem there almost, where you go, okay, it's super tight to the body, but can I grip it? And you're saying that this actually helps in that case as well?
Yeah, so when you go to feed your belt in, this is actually going to pull your belt out a little bit. So, so when you go to grab, your belt is not in the way. You can still get a nice good grip each time when you go to draw.
Awesome. And this has that sort of Kydex retention, and I actually have this gun, I have a Hellcat as well. I mean, it's pretty tight. Now, probably on a belt, pulling up, it's no big deal, but I mean, absolutely, it's holding that gun in place.
Yeah, no, it's great. Well, it holds it nice and tight at the trigger guard. You get that nice audible click when you go in.
Yeah.
And it's really great. And this holster is also super adjustable. Like the last one, this one comes with 1.5" and 1.75" clips attached to it. So all you gotta do if you want 1.75" is flip these clips around, and then you have 1.75" belt loops. And also you can adjust the height and the cant by flipping around, or if you want to just flip this one on, you can actually use this holster cross draw. So it gives you a lot of options for how you want to wear it.
Well, it's funny because I started off saying that there's no perfect solution and people always end up with a bunch of different holsters, but you sort of have a bunch of holsters in one with this, actually with both of them.
Yeah, so I mean, we were trying to make this, like, the first thing that we thought of it to be was to make this as deep as concealment as possible. And then as we're playing around with it, we're like, oh, we can actually make this cross draw. We can make this right up really high and tight. We can make it right a little bit lower. And we're thinking, yeah, this really is like a perfect everyman holster.
Yeah, and it's stone simple. I like that. Are there different flavors and options as far as the way this comes?
So this one is available so only this color for obviously Kydex. Comes in comes in left hand or right hand, and then we're going to be it's going to launch at the end of February. That's when we going to officially have all the clips in, everything to process to build it. We're going to have it for all the full size frame Glocks, SIG P320, the Hellcat Glock 43, the SIG 365, the Shield EZ 9mm. The Taurus G3C. We're gonna have it for, once again, the most popular guns out there right now.
Covers most of them. Now, we have millions and millions of new gun owners out there, and for the most part, they're buying guns for self-protection, that type of thing. So what you guys do fits in really well. And if you're like me, I know you're been getting calls this past year from friends and family going, okay, I'm starting to get into this gun thing. What do I need? How do I carry? I mean, what are some common questions, or what's your advice for somebody who says, okay, I got a gun, I got to get a holster, how am I going to carry this thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think I read somewhere where like some of the new gun owners was like 40% of the all like overall NICS background checks last year. You know, it really kind of boomed last year. But I would say, you know, start simple. Don't go crazy with holsters. You know, you gotta fine tune it. You gotta find, you know, I always say start with simple, a nice leather holster. You know, don't go crazy. But then, you know, as you know, obviously the first thing is to train with it. You know, go to the range. You know, see if you like the draw. See if you like. Maybe you don't like 3 o'clock. Maybe you want to put it at 4 o'clock. Yeah. You know, it's so many personal preferences out there that you really gotta train with it and then figure out what you like, what you don't like, and then go from there. And like, oh, I don't like a thumb break. Okay, my next holster I'll get, you know, open top, and then work on that.
Yeah, I like that advice. I mean, it's like it's not a one-size-fits-all solution, and I think that it happens a lot where people will ask their friends or family who are into guns, what should I do? And sometimes the answer they tell them is like, this is the way. You know, they may say, oh, you got to carry appendix. Well, that doesn't work for everybody. And, you know, depending on what you're wearing, and certainly with carrying concealed, it depends on what you're wearing and the gun you're carrying, and a lot of different factors, you know. And you kind of alluded to it, Chad, but like, I feel it's not a buy a holster and you're done. There's nothing wrong with having several different options in your holster arsenal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, they always say that, you know, for every one gun, you're going to have a box full of holsters. But for me, I mean, my issue is I have a factory full of holsters I can try at any time. But you know, you just got to find the one that works best for you. You got it is you know, something you got to work at. You got to, you know, start simple. You know, find something that you think you like, and then wear it for a while. Don't just wear it for a day. But then if you want to change something, you want something with a tension screw, you know, try that. You know, it's really important to focus on this and get this right, because God forbid you have to, you know, depend on that holster one day. You know, it's a life-saving, you know, situation. I want to make sure I have the best tools for me so I can, you know, operate properly.
Absolutely, yeah. It's got to work when the time counts, and also it's got to be comfortable enough that you're actually going to carry it, you're actually going to wear it, and that's another important factor. Okay, a couple really good options. I actually like both of these, the GRD or the Veiled Partner, both from DeSantis Holster. So there you go. The search continues. You got to get more holsters.
I mean, that's kind of the problem, and I think Chad touches on it. Like, you have one gun and then you have a bucket full of holsters, but you're just trying to find that one that just fits right. It's kind of the three bears situation you got going on.
Yeah.
But one thing that Chad couldn't really show on the GRD was the inside of the holster, and the positive click that you hear is actually
there's a device in there,
device
little
inside
Kydex piece
that catches that trigger guard. And I don't know if you can see there. I'm trying to show Vanna White it to the camera.
Our special lens here.
Yeah.
You can kind of see.
But yeah, you can kind of see in there.
There's a thingy in there.
There's more going on, because when you hear that, you kind of like, I mean, that's in there solid.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And the thing about leather, I don't know if we got into this, but it's very comfortable, and the more you wear it, the more it starts taking shape to both the gun and you. If you carry it in the same way all the time, it starts to really form, you know, to those little handles that I have on the side.
The love handles?
You know, some people call them that. I call them jambalaya handles, but whatever. But yeah, it'll shape to you, and it's pretty comfortable.
And we've had a lot of comments on a move, and this happened like a few years ago. People are starting to incorporate the leather and the Kydex together,
right?
Because I mean, these are very rigid and they're very stiff, and I like the fact that you can switch between if you want a 1.5-inch holster or a belt, or an 1 3/4 inch, and this is, you kind of vary it.
And this is sort of my take on it would be, this is a way to carry outside the waistband, which is generally more comfortable and more versatile.
100%.
You're not having to fit it inside the pants. But it's not an outside the waistband holster that's like a range holster that really sticks out there. This is designed to really hug into the body for a tight fit. And so then, yeah, it's outside the waistband, but if you have a cover garment on, hopefully it's really hugged tight to your body. It's not printing, it's not showing. But let's talk about printing.
Yes.
Okay, so there were a couple comments about this.
Texas Huntsman brings it up, and I think he has a point there. And he says that printing might be the most overhyped problem that new carriers worry about. Most people don't pay that close of attention. Other concealed carry guys might notice, maybe.
That being said, I mean, yes, when people first start carrying, a lot of times you can't help it. You just feel like, I feel like everyone can see my gun. I know it's hidden, but it's concealed. But, it feels weird to be walking around in public wearing a gun.
It's kind of like you have
if you're
a
not
secret.
used to it. Yeah.
I mean,
he's right. Most people, if you're doing it right, they're not going to see it, notice it, or whatever.
So do you pay attention? Obviously, if someone's open carrying, it's like a light bulb going off with like all the arrows going to it and pointing to it, and you're like,
yeah.
Their choice, but
I mean, I think for probably if you're a gun guy, sometimes it's a fun game of.
Oh yeah, are they carrying?
And then some people, I feel like you start. Those of us who pay attention to it, they clue you in because you're like, I was wearing like 511s, and all of a sudden you're like, let's see if I can see it.
It's the adjustments of the pants, or it's the the constantly messing with your shirt.
But that being said, you do need. In most states, the law is it has to be concealed. Even in an open carry state, we're right here, we can do open carry, but it's either open carry or it's concealed. It's not like, oh, well, my gun sort of flashed while it doesn't matter because it's an open carry state. No, that doesn't fly generally.
It's finding the right holster is a difficult problem to encounter because I liken it to kind of the fishing industry as you go in and you know what kind of fish you're wanting to target, and then you go down the line aisle in the Bass Pros or the Cabela's or wherever you're at, and there's 900 lines.
Right.
So how do you choose and how do you break down? And a lot of these companies, they help you sort those.
Yes.
Which is great.
Yeah.
And DeSantis Gunhide does just that. They've got it on their website where you can kind of pick and choose.
And they're called Gunhide, but obviously they do Kydex as well.
Right.
Workman says the neon light on your gun that nobody around you sees, although you are convinced everybody does. You have that. That's a good way of describing it. Now, that being said, there's the other side of it. If you're doing it right, it's concealed. People aren't going to notice it. You're fine. If you're doing it wrong, though, I had my sister-in-law, who is not a gun person, called me one day and said she was at the movie theater, like standing in line to buy popcorn. She's like, guy in front of me was carrying a gun. Well, how'd you know? I could see it. Like he had on like a tight white T-shirt.
Oh.
And like, there's a gun,
he was
obviously.
Wearing the schmedium shirt.
Yeah, he's got his athletic cut shirt on. And dude, no, that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Yes, it's covered. I couldn't tell you what model you have on, but you obviously have a handgun on your person.
I bet you could. I bet a guy like that, if you were playing that game.
Oh, I'd play that game.
You'd go, oh, I know how many rounds he's got.
Yeah.
And you know what? I bet that guy doesn't have one in the pipe.
Yes. And then there's the open carriers, which maybe is for another day. I don't know. EDC, just love all these acronyms. Rick says.
Uh-oh.
Rick, I don't know what that means, Rick. I don't know if I can read it.
What's Rick say?
It's like a woman finding a bra? What does that mean?
Like a woman. Well, it's like, I mean, there's a lot of choices.
There's a lot of
choices. That's what Rick means. Come on.
I don't. Okay. I've never shot for bras. I can't really comment on this. I trust you, Rick. He said he's married with 2 daughters. He's also looking for an affordable shoulder holster.
There's some more out there. DeSantis launched one last year.
Shoulder holster?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just options. There's not, when we talk about different ways to carry, pocket carry, ankle carry, shoulder holster, inside the waistband, outside the waistband, appendix, there's not one that's good or bad or whatever. There's just different options
Right.
depending on what you're going to do. As long as it protects the gun from being fired accidentally, protects the trigger and trigger guard. As long as it doesn't fall out of the holster, the gun doesn't fall out of the holster, or the holster doesn't fall out of your pants or whatever.
You'd be like that CIA agent that was dancing in the club and his gun fell out and hit and shot someone.
Bad news. The Plaxico. Plaxico
Oh,
burst.
Plaxico,
Yeah. You got the Plaxico carry in the pocket of sweatpants. Not recommended.
Seems functional.
And in New York, they don't just say, haha, you shot yourself. No, they say you're also going to prison for 3 years.
Yeah. Ooh.
The no tolerance policy.
Well, it ain't gonna fly.
I think shooting yourself in the leg is punishment enough for that kind of dumb behavior.
But you have to. I think you should have to wear a shirt that says "I shot myself. Ask me how." Like that's part of your punishment. You have to explain that every day of your
62
life.
hours of community service. Sets up with Steven Crowder on the street with a little table. I shot myself. Ask me how. This could be a new segment. All right, we are definitely officially off the rails.
Yep.
William, let's Glock Sport. How does this compare? Big issues. The holster holds too well, or the holster is dragged up when unholstering. Okay.
Tighten your pants.
You can. A lot of those holsters are adjustable, or it may loosen up with time.
Well, and there's tension screw. There's a tension screw on here too, where you can loosen that just a touch, and still maintain whatever level that you'd like as far as tension's concerned. So, and we had that conversation off air. Is well, man, it's awful tight. Well, it's not designed to be drawn from here.
Right, holding the holster with your hand.
So when it's on here, it is better. But you can just release a little bit of that tension if you'd like.
Yep,
So
it's adjustable.
fit it to what you want.
That's what that screw there is for. There you go. All right, so that's what's new from DeSantis.
They've got some cool stuff, and this is absolutely a beautiful holster. I
like it.
I love leather.
Yeah.
It forms to the body, and having this positive, audible click in there to know it's secured, really nice.
All right. Well, I know you're going to do it, so go check them out, DeSantis holsters, and probably get yourself 1 or 2 or 4. Let's see what we get. Always very innovative. It's a lot of fun.